Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is CringeyJesse and this is my Formula 123 My Career mode in the Cringy universe. Here we are in Mexico, Q1, starting off our first lap. It is bright, it is sunny. I am hoping for a good race. Another good race and points would definitely help out the team. Coming to the end of our first lap here in Q1, George Russell setting a 117 point something. We come across the line with a 117.9. Good enough for P3. And I'm going to take a risk and see if it's good enough for Q2. It is good enough for Q2. As we start our first lap in Q2. Trying to save on tires. I definitely used old tires for my first lap. Get me used to the track once again here in Q2. And hopefully maybe even set a better lap on fresher tires if needed. But as we come into the chicane up here, we skip to the end of our first lap of Q2. It is a 117.8, good enough for P2 at the moment. However, plenty of drivers have yet to go, so we down here in the P7 at the end of Q2, we are going to go ahead and start a new lap with fresh tires in hopes of not getting eliminated. Qualifying is complete as we skip to the end of the lap here. So far doing better. Maybe we can actually stay up in here. We have P7 still, but we come across the line. It's going to be P3. P3 is a good spot if we can hold on to it by the end of Q3. Starting our first lap in Q3. Not a lot of differences, you know. Once again, starting on old tires, trying to preserve some tires for the race. Coming down into the first turn / chicanes. Go ahead and skip to the end of the first lap of Q3. And it is P2. P2 with a 117.3. Going into the pits now because we're going to start a new lap. New lap, P4 at the moment. We have started not as fast as we were once before, but we're going to blame it on the straight. Maybe we can get into the green. Coming into turn number 1 here in Q3. As we get into the turn, we lose it. We lose it. That's what happens. We actually lose it. And now we are stuck with whatever we get with because we have to retire from qualifying and just hope we stay. Well, we're going to stay inside the points, but hopefully in front of P10, not just falling back to P10. But with qualifying over, we will figure out all of that here as we welcome you guys to another wonderful day for Formula 1 racing here in Mexico. Round number 20 of 23. 4 more races to go in the season. Hoping we can stay in P8 in Constructors at least, because that is the only real goal that we have. Neither one of us is going to hit the Drivers' Championship this season, nor the Constructors. But our sponsor really wants us to hit P8 in Constructors. Your starting grid for the Mexico Grand Prix. P1, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. P2, both of these drivers looking to make some points up on Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. Not really sure how they're doing in the Constructors at the moment. That is a hard one for me to remember. Russell, Norris, Hamilton, Gasly, Ocon, myself in P8. Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda making the top 10. Lance Stroll, Sergio Perez, and Verstappen outside of the top 10. Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Piastri and Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou, Albon, De Vries, Jamie Chadwick, and Logan Sargent, bringing up the rear of the drivers to start this race. And with that concluded, we are here for our race here in Mexico. 5 red lights are gone and away we go. Starting in P8 with a great start. A lot of slow people in front of me getting past Norris and Gasly there. Now Sainz and Leclerc, the only 2 in front of me. ERS is enabled. Gasly trying to hold on to my back tire there. as I'm up into P2 after turn 1 into turn 2. A little tussle with Charles Leclerc. but we get in front of Charles Leclerc, and by the end of the front straight in the chicanes, we are P1 here in Mexico, if we can hold on to it, as we are just ever so slightly getting up to 6/10 in front of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc as they are fighting for position here in lap 2, coming to the end of sector 2, starting sector 3. Carlos Sainz looking for that inside, but decides to back out as he doesn't really have it. Skipping up once again up into lap number 5, starting lap number 6 in the straight. Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz getting in front of me with that DRS. Charles Leclerc getting in front of me with that DRS. Into turn 1. I go for a dive up the inside because I am Formula 123's best diver. However, I wasn't able to get Carlos Sainz, but I was able to get Charles Leclerc. P2 for me after the straight. DRS still inactive. DRS still activated here for the second DRS zone, but unfortunately it is not good enough to catch up to Carlos Sainz, as he does have P1 here in lap 6. Skipping to the end of lap 6, you can see Carlos Sainz now has a 2-second gap. Charles Leclerc getting in front of me before even activating his DRS. Sergio Perez decides he's going to shove his way in front of me. Good for you for being fast, I guess, as I go for another dive. Maybe just a little aggressive this time, as Sergio is definitely fighting me here for P3. P2, he can have P3, I'll take P2. Up into this straight, there is another DRS zone. I don't have the DRS. Charles Leclerc and Perez both behind me who do have it. Leclerc going up the inside, but not being able to hold on to it. P2 is still mine. Carlos Sainz now 4 seconds, almost 4.5 seconds ahead of me. Charles Leclerc taking the inside once again, making it stick a little bit better this time as we come up to the sharpest U-turn here in Mexico. Coming to the end of lap 7, and it looks like Charles Leclerc is going to have DRS as well, or did he pass me? He passed me just a little too early. I'm going to have the DRS. DRS activated, ERS not activated. I'm going to save it for a little bit later. Perez trying to get around me. Leclerc trying to block off Perez. Doesn't really work for Leclerc as Perez gets in front of him. However, I get in front of both of them. Back into P2. Carlos Sainz a good 5 seconds ahead of everybody, but he does have a 5-second penalty. I'm sure he's had that for a minute now. However, I'm just now realizing it. He's got a 5-second penalty, but unfortunately, skipping up to P9, I go a little wide. He's 8 seconds in front of me, at least. So he does definitely have P1 over everybody at the moment. As Perez gets in front of me, I'm going a little too hard into the U-turn, and I spin around, getting back on my feet, but not fast enough as the safety car is deployed for the baggage of people at the turn. With the safety car deployed, I'm going to go ahead and pit for new tires, and it looks like Lando Norris is pitting in front of me as well. Nothing exciting happened. Safety car in. As you can see, I try to swerve because everybody slams on brakes, but not in time as I get a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Lando Norris. I don't know how severe it was. Neither one of us got damage off of that. But skipping to the actual true ending as everybody is away, and away we go. My ERS is activated, trying to get in front of Norris, but Norris has better speed than I do in this straight. However, what Norris doesn't have is diving ability. I can dive in the inside, and I can also dive on the outside as I do both of them, getting around not only Norris but Gasly as well. Leclerc, Perez, and Carlos Sainz in front of me. Carlos Sainz no longer having that 5-second penalty, as he did serve it in the pit lane not too long ago during the safety car. However, the three of them showing me why they are in the better car, as after not even too much longer after that, they pull away. Perez and Leclerc fighting coming into sector 3. I'm going to use that to my advantage and get in front of Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Sergio Perez's Red Bull in front of me now. Do I have the DRS? I believe I do. Carlos Sainz setting the fastest lap with a 119.6. I do have DRS and I also have ERS to catch up to Sergio Perez in P2, hoping to take that spot away from him in the first turn. Like I said, I can dive on the outside just as well as the inside. Perez trying to dive on the inside, making contact with me right there. However, not enough contact as it doesn't really knock me off. I will take P2, and I am looking for Carlos Sainz here on lap 17 coming down into the first turn. I have a 3.6 second gap in the people behind me, but I lose it. I have lost it, and I just damaged my wing. Not only did I lose my car and the time I had on everybody behind me, I lost a portion of my wing, so now braking and turning is going to be difficult for the remainder of this race, and I just tried my best to finish inside the points. I'm really hoping that I can do that, but as slow as I am, I'm bunching everybody up behind me because my defense is on next level. Going slow into the turn as I am struggling with my front wing. Perez decides, you know what, let's get him out of the race. I try to recover and get back on the track, but it doesn't work as I take out Valtteri Bottas, and now I'm stuck with it, slapped with a 10-second penalty. Okay, I'm sorry, it's another 5, but now I've got 10 seconds. Anyway, there's absolutely no chance of me being able to finish in the points and not paying attention as I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the pit lane. I completely lose my wing, back up off the wall, still looking at what I'm going to do, and disqualified for backing up off of the wall. That's crazy. That's crazy. Disqualified for backing up off of a wall? I've never heard of that. It's a safety car. I'm not going the wrong way. I'm backing off of a wall anyway. Anyway, that good luck that I was having finishing in points, I believe 2 races in a row, coming to an end apparently here in Mexico, as your race does end. Carlos Sainz in first, Fernando Alonso gets P2, and Esteban Ocon gets P3. Those are your podium finishers. Then you have Pierre Gasly, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen starting in 13th, ending in P6, Lewis Hamilton P7, George Russell P8, Kevin Magnussen and Oscar Piastri finishing out your points. And if you look down there, P14, Jamie Chadwick making moves as she started out in 21st, finishing in P14. Great job, Jamie Chadwick. Love seeing you improve. Can't wait for the next season to start to see how much better we both are in Season 2. And now looking at our driver standings, we have Max Verstappen still in first. He looks like he might just win this. However, Lewis Hamilton, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz all have an opportunity to possibly take that. At least Lewis and Sergio's, they are only 45 points away. Charles Leclerc is 58. Carlos Sainz and George Russell might have a little bit more difficulty doing so as they are both 71 and 83. Fernando Alonso, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, and myself finishing out the top 10 of your Drivers' Championship standings. I'm really hoping that I can at least finish in the top 10, if it is P10 of the Drivers' Championship. With only 3 more races to go, all I got to do is try my best not to be DNF'd in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And moving on to your constructor standings, Red Bull with 593 points, only 83 points ahead of Mercedes, 84 points ahead of Ferrari. Those are your top 3. I don't think Red Bull is going to choke it, but who knows? Who knows? Ferrari has been putting on a late show in this season. Mercedes, and Red Bull have not been doing as well as they could be doing. So there might be an actual battle coming to the end. Like I said, 3 more races to go. We will find out as time passes. Aston Martin in 4th, Alpine in 5th, McLaren in 6th, Haas P7, and Cringy Racing still P8, where we need to be before the end of the season. Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri, and all the way in last place, P11 with 6 points to their name. Williams Racing. Can they get any more points before the end of the season, or are they just stuck? I would love to see everybody get double digits, at least double digits, before the end of the season. Anyway, Ladies and gentlemen, that is your Mexican Grand Prix. Up next, we will be in Brazil at the Sao Paulo circuit. Hopefully, luck that we had in this race will not carry on over into that race. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to do it. Anyway, if you enjoyed, please hit that like button. If you can't wait for the next video, hit that subscribe button. I really want to hit 500 subscribers at some point in my life, because that is a goal on YouTube. Like, there's an actual page somewhere that shows that, and it is a goal. I would love to do it. Anyway, like I was saying, if you can't wait for the next video, please hit that subscribe button. More than anything, it helps my confidence in making these videos. And I'm enjoying making these videos whenever I can. I wish I made more often. We'd be in season 2 by now. Anyway, that is it. That is all. Hope you enjoyed. Outside of this, I hope you have a great day, great evening, great morning, whenever you decided to watch this. Until next time, goodbye.